guys, what's up? Welcome back to the first episode of our brand new podcast, Your Favorite Goth Kids, hosted by me, your boy Adam.
And me, your girl Ashley.
We are back after, what, a year?
Yeah. Oh my god. Has it really been a year?
Yeah, it's been a year.
Oh my goodness. Where has the time gone?
I know, before I took everything down, like on the YouTube channel, everything was already like a year.
Dang.
Yeah.
When life was semi-good, but semi-bad.
No, that was bad for me. That year was bad for me.
This year has been bad for me. Last year was my last good year.
Really?
Well, yeah, because I'm single and... No, not single and sad, but like just single and confused.
Or jumping right into
it. Just like, but last year was like, it was alright, but this time went by so quickly. It's already gonna be 2024. I'm just like, what the heck? Dude. Turning 21. I'm like, where has the time gone?
And me being 28 in like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, almost 3.
How do you feel like you're almost 30?
I don't know. I've had that conversation with my mom before, and it's like, I don't care about turning 30. Mm-hmm. What was harder for me to like, I guess you could say accept, was that I can't party like that anymore.
True. It catches up to you. You can't.
Yeah, it does, bro. Like, I would go out once, and it would take me like a week to recover. And I was like, this isn't even worth it, dude.
I was just telling my mom, I was like, what is Adam gonna do when I turn 21? Because I'm like, you're gonna be 28, I'm gonna be 21.
Well, I mean, like, the thing is that, like, I still go out and party, I just don't drink like how I used to.
No, I mean, I feel like that's a good habit, though, because, like, honestly, we don't want to create more bad habits almost in our 30s.
No,
in your 30s.
Well, yeah, no, for real.
I still have time.
She still has time to fix everything.
Yeah, we're fine. My liver can recover in a day.
To not be so deep in the shitter. Well, before we go, like, really into it, like, how we have been right now, because it's just
towards it.
Yeah, it's just how it is with us, like, all the time. We are just gonna, like, talk about, like, why we left, why we changed the name, why it took us so long to come back, all of that. But before we start today's episode, Ashley, one thing I do want to ask is, Ashley, what are your preferred pronouns, and what is your astrological sign?
Oh, my preferred pronouns are she, her.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a cis female. Is that how you say it correctly? I'm trying to. It's female.
Yeah, cis woman, cis female.
Cis woman, cis female. That's my preferred pronouns, and my sun is an Aquarius.
Beautiful.
And what about you, Adam?
My preferred pronouns are he, him.
Mm-hmm.
I am a cis man. That's what I identify as. Mm-hmm. And my sign is Sagittarius.
Sagittarius.
Is it funny how they have like some funny names for some? Mm-hmm. Like mine would be Sagittarius, but yours is like Aquarium. Or asparagus, something like that.
I've never been called an asparagus. Like, hey, are you an asparagus? Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I love every minute of it.
Love it.
I love every minute of it.
I go on the side with a fancy steak. You know me.
And me, I'm just like drooping. Literally my everyday life just trying to
just hanging in the knees, just hanging in the knees of the balance.
just hanging by a thread.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Hanging by a bra strap.
That needs to retire.
So I know you guys are wondering because where we've been and all of that. So we originally were gonna restart the podcast because one of my friends, she bought like the small microphones for me, but they didn't work. I had charged them for like days on end, hours, bro, and they would not turn on or connect to my phone. Oh. So I was like, you know what? If I keep on making up excuses, we're never gonna do this again. Thank you, Sulema, for buying them, but
you need your money back.
You need your money back, even though I threw them out already.
Well, never mind.
It was way past the 30 days.
Well,
so,
yeah.
Aww. So the reason why we ended up ending the podcast was because it was all because of me. I'm the one that like created the name. I do everything, the editing and everything. The name that we had before, The Harsh Truth, I felt like I kind of put us inside of a box, and we always had to speak about like serious subjects and things like that, which I don't mind doing from time to time. But the main purpose I made the podcast for was for us to like have fun and shoot the shit and laugh and all of that. Mm-hmm. And then Ashley got like really sick, and she had to make up all her days at work. So that's why.
God, yeah.
Because you ended up getting COVID.
Yeah.
And your boss was like, yeah, I'll give you the days, but you gotta make it up.
You gotta make them up.
So she was working straight for like almost 6 months, no?
Yeah. Wow. Oh my god, I completely forgot about that.
How do you forget about that? You were so miserable.
I can't remember what I did this morning. Like, I don't even know.
So yeah, so Ashley was gone, and then I had guests, and no disrespect to like the guests.
I'm so sorry if you hear my dog in the background. I'm so sorry.
The dog is chiming in. She was like, finally. But yeah, as I was saying, not to like disrespect the guests, but like because I loved having them on, but it just wasn't the same, you know. Because like how I said, I was forcing myself to have more serious topics, and I just hated it after a while. So then I just ended up stopping it because after that, me and Ashley, we did hang out, but we were focusing more on hanging out and not turning it into like our quote unquote work.
Yeah.
Like having to do a podcast. Like we wanted to hang out and actually hang out, like talk and not have to worry about any of that. And then so that's where we've been.
Yeah, no, and it was like good that we also took a break because, like I said, like your year was really rough for you last year.
Yeah.
And then for me, like I said, like this year hasn't been the greatest, but I'm glad that I feel like now I'm in a good headspace where I'm able to be okay with myself and talking because I feel like for a really long time, like the podcast did feel very serious, and I'm like, I'm gonna start running out of things to say because I'm a private person per se, but I'm like, if I'm being forced to say about something, or I'm like, I feel forced to say something, I'm like, it's just gonna come out completely wrong.
Yeah.
Or it's just kind of fake. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, okay, that's good that we took a break.
I think it was a break that both of us needed.
Yeah.
Because like my year was bad. I got my heart shattered, so I just wasn't in the mood to even talk. And then I kept getting sick every month.
Yeah. Did we both get our hearts shattered? No, you didn't. You got yours shattered before mine.
Yeah, because mine was last year I think towards the end of March or February.
Of 2023?
No, last year.
Oh,
2020. Yeah.
Bye.
Girl, we're still in 23. She wants this year to end so bad.
Wow, that's strange because like for me it was March of 2023.
Yeah.
When I got broken up with. Well, technically in February I kind of knew that we were going wrong for my birthday.
Same.
But then he broke up with me officially in March.
These soul ties, man.
Oh my god, that's great. That's why I was like, wait.
Yeah.
I was like, are you being for real?
Like, yeah, in February everything started to like feel weird between us, and then March was when like it fully ended. Like towards the end of March is when it fully ended.
Yeah, I was like, now it's almost been a year since that, and I'm like, wow. Like, I'm telling you, time is so crazy. I'm like, it doesn't feel like that.
Time is such a construct, man. Yeah. Like, it just... I don't know, you look back and you're like, damn, like, that much time has passed by.
And like, damn, I should have done things so differently. Like, that's like always the funny thing that you go back and reflect and you're like, what the heck was I doing? Like, how did I let it go so far? But it's just like, you turn a blind eye for a lot of things.
You do, unfortunately. And then I was ignoring my intuition.
Yeah.
Because something was telling me from the beginning that it was kind of off. But because, you know, he was fine, I was like, why not, you know?
I was really blind then. Sorry, no Tino shade. It's okay.
She was legally blind. She had no eyesight whatsoever.
None whatsoever.
Yeah, so then, so we took the break. Now we're back. I couldn't stick on a name for a while because I was like, nothing ever felt right. Originally, we were supposed to call ourselves La Neta, because everything that I do, I try to add like my Mexican heritage into it, but it just wasn't working out. So we decided to stick with the bit that we came up with when we were dragged with our families to their religious convention. And it was just, and the name of the podcast is The Bit, which is your favorite Goth kids.
Your favorite Goth kids, they're back again. They're better than ever.
And blasphemous than ever. Because me and Ashley both got dragged to that assembly, and we literally both had the same idea, like, all right, we're going to go, but we're going to look goth as hell.
And we didn't plan it, which is fun fact. Like, you look at the photos and you're like, you had to have planned this.
But we didn't.
We had bought our stuff, and then we're like, hey, do you want to see what we bought? And it literally went perfectly aligned with each other. I was like, this is how you know, like, it's meant to be. I'm like, real. It's such intuition with these. I'm like, wow, we were literally Morticia and Gomez.
Yeah, she had a dress that looked like Morticia's, and then I got a suit that looked like Gomez's. And we were looking fire.
We really were, and everyone was like, oh my god, I love like the theme that you're going for, the costume that you're going for. And I'm like, It's not a costume, but thanks.
It's my everyday life.
It's like literally how I look like outside of this. You just don't see me.
Exactly.
Because I'm like, it's been like a couple years, like because of COVID, that also like shut off for a little bit. That's why we had to go back, because everything shut off because of COVID. And like 4 years later, they're like, hey, guess what? We're gonna go back, and we're like, damn, we were so used to not going anymore, and we're like, we gotta go again.
I think that's why for me, like at first, when I told my parents I didn't want to be part of the religion anymore, they were okay with it, because they were like, okay, the only rule that we're putting on you is that you have to attend. And that's when we were doing it through Zoom. So I was like, okay, it's fine, you know, it's nothing too bad.
Yeah.
But then once we physically started going, I was like, duh.
The funny part is, like, that was the opposite for me. Like, for Zoom, I hate it. I didn't hate it, but I didn't like mind it per se. And like now I don't go in person at all.
I wish I could have that, but then like I get threatened to get kicked out. So.
Well, I get threatened to like every day, so it's okay. I'm like, yeah, like they're like, oh, why don't you want to do this? Why don't you do that? Especially now by myself in the household. None of my siblings either are just all gone. I'm the only one here. They're focused more on me, and I'm just like, crap on crackers. I was like, right when I'm trying to get my life together and like expand more independently, it's like, of course they're gonna have a like huge grip on me now. It's just me.
Yeah, that's kind of how it felt with me, because like at one point I was the only child, so it kind of seemed like they wanted to control me, and be like, oh, we really want to do it right with you, but it was so overly controlled that I was like, this isn't the way to go. And
the thing is, like, we're already adults. Like, you should have tried harder when we were younger. I was like, now I'm 21, 28, just calm down.
Yeah, it's like, stop.
This is like, bro, I've been like this for over 10 years. I'm going to continue to stay with this till the end of times.
No, honestly, and that's what I told my mom before, is that like, right now I just don't have like the motivation to go, because I just don't want to. And if I ever come back, it's going to be on my terms, because every time I tell them that I wanted to come back, it was always like, okay, like,
we got to get it together now.
Yeah, like I had like when I had to first move back in with them after the pandemic, after when I was living with my ex, I had to change my hair color because it was a different color. I had to shave my beard, I had to take out my piercings, I had to wear a suit because my dad was like, if you're gonna do this in here, then you're gonna do this right.
Yeah.
So I was like, it was too much of my own identity stripped. And that's when I was like, yeah, I don't want this anymore. I don't want this ever. As of right now, I don't want this ever.
I know, that's so funny. I was like, because you think you're like, oh, it's because you're a man. No, literally, it's the exact same for me. I have like a new piercing now. It's a helix just on my ears. And my parents went ballistic. They were like, I'm going to rip that out of your ear. I'm like, go ahead. Please do. Please do it. I'm like, well, from one helix piercing, they go crazy. I'm like, I wanted to dye my hair purple because I'm like, I was tired of red. Now I'm at regular black because it pleases everybody. So I'm just like, and I want to do purple. They're like, you're crazy. And I'm like, yeah, yes. Like, okay.
But like, what you want to like a straight up purple or like a black and purple?
Like a black and purple. Like I wanted to do like almost like a early 2000s like highlights.
Oh,
like chunky highlights from like Monster Doll kind of theme. Yeah. That's what I wanted to do. I was like either purple or like with red. You know, like Monster High doll vibes or just straight raven hair.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But I was like, obviously I was going to do my own time to like slowly, gradually build up to it. But they were like, absolutely not. No way. I was like,
not even like a black and one?
No, they were like, you're gonna look crazy and psychotic, and I'm like,
that's the whole point.
That's the whole point. That's literally me.
Crazy, psychotic, and in psychosis 24/7.
Medicated 24/7.
The last time we talked, I was a housekeeper.
Yeah.
I no longer am.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god, time.
Yeah, I was a housekeeper. I now work at a clinic, front desk. It's alright. I mean, I just all the phone calls that come through, the patients that you have to repeat yourself like 20 times too, and it's like.
Yeah, your job was the only thing that changed. So you only changed your job one time, and you were supposed to go back, but it just never worked out.
Yeah. So story about that too. I was supposed to go back to the Venetian. They gave you like a 6-month time frame. Like you have to wait 6 months. And literally right when the 6 months was up, I got my car stolen.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Yeah. Wait, what does it feel like I'm hearing this for the first time? I'm like, what the heck?
I think because we all just forgot that it happened.
Yeah. You haven't had your car in like what?
I think I lost it back in, I think it was May.
I remember when you texted me that. You're like, oh, I lost my car. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
What? Yeah. Me still not driving.
I went to an emo night. had the best time of my life because it was at my favorite venue. Because at that venue it gets like really hyped. I come out, my car is not there, so I was like, okay, let's take a breather. Let's wait until tomorrow, and we'll come back. We searched the parking lot and the garage everywhere, and yeah, it got stolen.
Oh my god, that is crazy. Oh no.
And then they ended up finding it like a month after.
I remember when we were like, let's go see if your car is there, and like it was like you already had filed the check for like with your insurance that it was stolen.
Oh yeah.
Like so literally they had just given it to you, and then that same week they were like, hey, guess what, we found your car. And I was like, how convenient.
I know, it felt like such a setup almost.
I was like, okay, because your car was like in perfect conditions.
Yeah, it was fine.
Like there was nothing wrong with your car. And now you're like, well, no tienes carro, and I'm just like, damn.
I know, it sucks. But that's why I'm gonna start working a second job. I'm gonna go back to Jack in the Box, just Monday through Thursday from 5 to 10.
Why is everyone getting second jobs? Like that's how sad life has gotten. They have to work like 3 jobs to afford anything.
Yeah, that's how expensive life has gotten. Ever since they added like the T-Mobile Arena and then the Raider Stadium. And then they're adding like the baseball one, and now they added the Sphere. Life is going up. But I'm using that check just so I can put the entire check aside for my car.
For your car?
Yeah, so I can buy one.
Well,
I can't do this.
I've been at the same job for 2 years, but I hate it every day. But it's fine. It's fine. It's consistent. So I'm like, something about me is that I'm very consistent once I stick to it. So that's why I'm like, it's hard for some things. I'm just like, I don't want to do it because I'm like, if I'm not consistent with it, it breaks a routine cycle in me. So that's why I don't like this job, but it's good money. But I'm just like, I'm like, I hate it. Working for car dealerships is not for the weak. It really is not.
I know, because it's just like the fact of having to deal with people on a daily basis, and people are so draining, and like dramatic. And they're so stubborn too. Yeah. Like you could literally tell them the truth, and they're like, no, that has never happened. I'm like, okay.
It's just like, oh, so you tell me, you come back here and tell me how to do my job.
Exactly.
Thank you very much.
Okay, try coming over here and picking up your car.
Come on. Okay. I'll be like, file your own insurance claim then. Go for it. Be like, talk to your own people. Bye.
Do all this paperwork so I don't have to.
And you're like, file it. Go ahead. I'm going to stay right here. You do it. You look pretty. I'm like, you got to answer the phone calls. You got to multitask. Go ahead, babe. You got it.
Oh, my God, that's the worst. I'm checking in patients and I'm on the phone still doing, like, having to do all the consent forms. It's hell, dude.
Yeah, so job has been consistent for me. Your job is consistent, but...
Yes, it's consistent.
You have to get another one, which is sucky.
Yeah.
What else? Anything else that's new?
Well, how you were talking about your breakup. I mean, if you're comfortable speaking about it.
Yeah. It's hard. Because we were together for 2 years. We had known each other for more than that, and he kind of just got bored. I guess. Well, so the long story short with the breakup is he broke up with me over text. Fun times. Yeah. He didn't want to come talk to me in person. He was like scared or whatnot, but not like scared that I'll hurt him, but like scared because he's like, I couldn't face you in person. And then he never gave me an explanation as to why we broke up. Yeah. So I had to come up with my own ideas because you left me to nothing. Yeah. So I was thinking, oh, because he was bored, because he was tired of me. So that was that was one major thing that happened in the beginning of my year, because we had broken up in March. And my birthday was in February, and from February, I had felt something like very, very off, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm feeling it, but I was like very in and out, because I was like, I L-word you. I'm like, I'm not gonna say it. I hate it. I'm like, I L-word you, and I'm like, why won't you L-word me back? So I'm just like, interesting. So when he broke up with me, it was really like just everyone was blindsided. Well, by everyone I mean like you and my other best friend. And when I had told you guys like, oh, you guys seem like the perfect couple, and then that's when I had like told you guys more things about like, so this is what actually happened behind closed doors. Yeah. Like this is how I actually felt, and I was like, and I turned such a blind eye that everyone was telling me like, hey, you know what? Like, I think it's just, like, something that you probably need to step back from. And I'm not saying, like, it's all blaming on him. Like, obviously there was, like, a lot for me, but I was like, I had changed so much about myself and my personality and how I looked and everything for this one person. So I just didn't know what to do anymore after that. I was like, what do I go back to? Do I go back to Ashley 3 years ago? Do I go back to Ashley 4 years ago, like, what do I do now? I was like, it was so hard, and for months and months and months, and I'm not gonna lie, it's still a little painful, but it's like way better than it was before, because I couldn't eat, I couldn't sleep, I couldn't breathe. I felt like my entire world was crashing down from one person. And like now I know how girls feel when I would watch, like, or I hear them be like, well, qué dramáticas, you know, like, but I'm like, I know exactly how you feel. Like, and I'm super delusional sometimes, so I'm just like, no, he's gonna come back. But I'm facing a reality now where I'm just like, I'm okay with how things ended. I see that we're not gonna have a conclusion that I want. So I'm like, it's time to like break ties finally after like a year. Like, we haven't talked to each other at all. But I'm just like, I still have like a lot of his pictures on my phone. So I set myself a certain goal that I'm like, okay, after this point on forward, I'm gonna delete everything that I have on my phone about him, every single picture, every single message. It's time to move on.
You haven't deleted anything?
No, I have everything. I still have everything in a locked folder. I don't look at it. I don't ever look at it, ever. But I'm just like, it's time to let it go. Knowing that it's on my phone, it's not bringing me hope that we'll get back together, because I don't want to say that I'm not, but I'm like, I don't want the opportunity to present itself where I put myself in a vulnerable position where I'm like, I'm going to make myself look like a jackass. And then be like, please take me back. Please. Because I was never like that. I was like, okay, fine. You don't want to be with me? That's okay. But for a long time, I was struggling, and I was like, no, you know what? We have to make this work. Like, you were the only person that I could see myself being happy with. And I'm like, now I'm like, I don't think so. And I'm like, if I can't be happy with myself, I shouldn't depend on my happiness on somebody else. That's like the main thing. So that was one thing with me. Then like my younger sister had gotten married. I was like, and my older sibling had already gone home, like left from the house like years before. But I was like, it was just me and my sister. So then my younger sister got married and she left. So I'm just like, now it's really just me and my thoughts. And I'm like, if I'm not comfortable with myself, I'm like, I'm gonna go crazy. So I'm like, now I'm like slowly like churning a different page. I'm like, I'm tired of being sad all the time. I'm tired of thinking of this person all the time. I'm tired of these dreams that haunt me, because I used to dream about him every single night. Every single night. And like, you know how like you have those like dreams where it works out in the end? I would wake up sobbing. Oh my god. Like, why didn't we work out? Like vivid dreams of like us saying sorry to each other, us having like this whole life together after we had like forgiven each other, and then you wake up and it's such a crash of like reality. Like, it felt so real, and I'm like, they're fake, they're not real. But I went through a crazy phase. Like, I went through so many phases. I went through the heartbroken stage. I went through my hoe phase. I went through my witchcraft. I'm gonna make you love it. I remember that. I went through everything. I was like, I'm gonna cast some spells. I'm like, I need you to come back to me. And I'm like, that's how you know that you're not okay. When you're like, I'm gonna force this man to love me. Like, it's okay if you don't want to love me. It's fine. If you didn't want my love, it's okay. I'll give my own love to myself.
No, honestly, self-love is the best love.
Well, it's hard. It's just hard. It's so hard. But I feel like I'm okay now. I'm genuinely okay. But like, just seeing everybody be so happy, I'm just like, whatever.
Sorry.
No, but like, that's good for you guys, because like, you know, like, I also have to remember, I'm only 20. You like, everybody else in my life is a lot older than me. I'm like, so of course they're gonna have their life more figured out than mine. I'm like, I gotta remember. I'm like, why am I comparing myself? For example, for you, you're 28. Like, you've had your time, you've had your relationships, you had your breakups. I'm like, this was my first relationship and my first breakup. I'm like, Ashley, it's not the end of the world. You're probably gonna have 10 more. Or maybe this might be your first and last one. Who knows? I'm like, but it's okay, because I'm like, you have time. I always forget that how young I am, and I'm like, no, I need everything done now. I'm very impatient when it comes to that.
You are.
I'm like, I need everything done like immediately. Like, I needed to have kids yesterday.
I remember, because like when you were like so much younger, when I first met you, you were like, oh, by this age, I want to be married, I want to have kids.
Yes, can you remember?
And you were like, and if I don't, I'm going to kill myself.
No, because I was always like such a fairy tale dreamer that I'm like, oh, I'm gonna find my Prince Charming right when I turn 18 because I'm gonna an adult. That's how you know you're a kid.
Yeah.
When you're like, right when I turn 18, my life is gonna be this huge turn of like I'm an adult now. I can do whatever I want, you know. And you're like, ooh. When you actually turn 18, your reality is not that. It was
it hits you so hard.
Especially because when I had turned 18, I was with my ex. So that's why also like I had semi big milestones with him. I turned 18, then 19, then 20 with him. So it was a lot.
No, yeah, that's already 3 birthdays that you guys spent with each other, and then for him to be like, well,
yeah, like he had my last teen years. I'm so upset about that.
That's true.
He had my last teen years. Like, I was really such a big hoe before him, and I was fine and happy. Like, you know how I was before that. Like, I was thriving. And then I was like, you know what? Let's be silly and let's settle down. And I was like, and then I was always like, oh, you know what? And, like, after our 3rd year anniversary, we're definitely going to, like, be like, you know what? We should get married, like, within a year. Like, and I'm like, oh, now thinking about it, and I'm like, who? I'm like, I would have never said yes if you would have asked me to marry him, like, right away. Like, no, give me some time. Like, I don't drive. I still live with my parents. I'm like, who's gonna tuck me into bed? Like,
who's gonna read me a bedtime story?
Because I'm still a baby.
I'm just a little girl.
I'm just a little girl. With very big daddy issues.
Oh my god. No. So very big daddy and abandonment issues.
Because don't leave me. So it was a lot. And this year's been, and that's only like a little chunk of like my year.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm like, there is so much more that has happened, but I'm like, everything happens for a reason. So hopefully everything pieces together slowly. You know.
I mean, it will. Because I remember when I went through my heartbreak last year, like it was devastating for me too.
I remember.
Yeah, but then like once you, and I went through like the same phases. I went from being really sad to, well, no, like heartbroken, and then just being sad, and then being extremely pissed off, and going back to being sad because it was the same. I never got that closure. That closure because his excuse was that like, well, I'm not ready to date, but then a whole month later he's in a relationship.
See, I'm glad that we had no contact because, baby, if I figure out that you were already in a relationship a month into breaking up with me, you and her would have been 6 feet under the ground.
Oh, I did witchcraft on you.
Oh, well, I did too. Literally slept with his name underneath my.
Did you? See, no, I didn't.
Because I was literally Googling on TikTok how to make an easy love song.
Oh my god.
And it was like the kid shit where you had like write his name 3 times, write the love symbol, spray it with perfume, burn it, and then like fold it 3 times a certain way, and then put it underneath your pillow. Yeah. Like I did that for like a month.
In nada?
Yeah. Well, maybe because I did it wrong, or I was just not manifesting it right. I don't know, because I know that it said that if you're not in a good place or with power, I guess, it just wasn't gonna work out. And I was literally just bitter and angry.
Did you do like the entire thing, like creating like the circle, calling the 4 corners?
No. See, see, there you go. I was just Googling this on TikTok, and I was like, TikTok's telling me to do this. Like, spray with perfume and you're fine.
See, that's why mine worked, because that's what I did. I called the corners.
And then, sorry. I'm so sorry I interrupted you.
No, you're fine. And I had, like, my offerings because I was using Hecate in that moment.
No, and then I almost used you, too. I'm kind of glad that we didn't, though. I mean, like, a little part of me wants to do it, but, like, for him to feel the same what I'm feeling. Because, honestly, like, okay, so before we had stopped talking, the thing was, we were semi-talking a little bit, but not like before. Like, it's just so crazy how guys can switch their emotions like a 360.
Oh, yeah,
because from one day he was like, I can't talk to you because I'm so sad. Oh, I'm sorry, that's so rude. So one day he was like, he was like, I can't talk to you, I'm so sad, I can't hear your voice or whatever. And then like being like, oh, we're gonna talk to each other over the phone. I wait an entire night and he doesn't text me and he doesn't call me, and I wait like an idiot for an entire day, not sleeping, not anything. And he's like, oh, I've just been too tired and too exhausted. And I'm like, well, why didn't you say that to me earlier? Like, literally, I didn't sleep. I'm like, I was crying the entire night. I was like staying awake being like, we're gonna finally fix this. Like, this is just a huge. And he didn't even break up with me. Fun fact, he said, let's go on a break.
Oh, yeah.
And then like a month later, he was like, yeah, we're broken up. And I'm like, wait a minute. I was like, wait a minute. I was like, wait, you're lying to me. So it was just like, so when he had texted me like 2 months later after that, he was like, oh, how are you doing? And I'm like, honestly, I'm like, not good. Because he was like the only person that I would really talk to about my emotions.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, I'm doing perfectly fine. And I'm super happy. And I'm like, oh. Like, I could literally pull up the text and be like, whoa. And I was like, that's good for you. I'm like, that's amazing for you. And like, we didn't stop talking because I wanted to stop talking. We stopped talking because he just stopped talking to me in the end. So it was like, I was really, really stupid. Like, he could have dragged me to hell and back, and I still would have been like, we could figure this out. But I'm glad low-key of the no contact. But I'm just like, how crazy it is that they go from like loving you, and I'm doing air quotes because I don't think that was love what we had. Well, I mean, at least I loved him, but he didn't love me in the sense that I loved him. I'm like, how he can go from that to being like, oh, you're the only one for me, I would never hurt you, would always be forever. And then just being like, and that's what we would always say to each other. I'd be like, I promise that I'll always love you, I promise that I'll never leave you, I promise that I'll never hurt you like anybody else. Literally did me worse than the people who have actually hit me. They literally physically abused me, and you hurt me more.
And you hurt me more, yeah.
Like, you never put your hands on me, but like, honestly, you might as well have. Like, just beat me up at this point. That's all you need to do.
For real. That's what was left with you. Just knock me out.
Just knock me out. I need you to throw me down these stairs at this point, because I feel like that's gonna hurt less than my heart right now. So yeah, but do you feel like you got over it within like a couple months? Because people say like within 3 months they're fine, and I'm like, oh.
I think because of how strong the connection me and him had, it did take me a full year to be okay. But like what really did help me out was when I did like the first spell on him. A lot of what I was feeling, because that's what the spell was for, was for him to feel what I felt. So a lot of what I felt went to him. Okay. So after that, yeah, it was easier for me to like move on. Like, I've seen, he kind of pops up, like, de vez en cuando, like, on my, the Explore page on IG. But I look at him and I'm like, I don't see him the same way. To me, he's not fine anymore. Like, I look at him and I'm like...
You're like, oh.
Yeah, I'm like, you are such a sack of shit. Like, you are such a pathetic-ass man. And then
you were worth investing before, but now, like...
But not anymore. I was like, he's so into the whole, being, like, a performer. So he would rather be, like, in a relationship where... he has to fake the entire thing than actually be vulnerable with the person that he wants to be with.
Why?
Yeah, so I was like, let that person deal with it.
Be like, okay, baby, fine. Better for me.
Better for me.
I'm in a good relationship now. Leave me alone.
No, dead ass.
Like,
I'm in a happy ass relationship.
Aw. See, that's why I'm like, ugh, whatever you guys.
We're not going to talk about it though.
No, it's too soon. It's too soon,
yeah. No.
Oh my god. Wow, it's just like life is so crazy. I know I keep saying that, but it's just like really crazy how in a blink of an eye, something can go from being utterly happy to just like
like a full blown disaster. Like.
And then like the next day you're fine again, and then back to being like sad, and like it's just like that's a full circle of life. I feel like you gotta embrace every feeling to truly feel what's going on, because I feel like that's the thing that I would just be like numb to, or be like, no, I'm gonna be fine in a week, I'm gonna be fine in a week, I'm gonna be fine in a week, and that's not fine in a week, and it's okay to not be okay.
No,
like
honestly.
That's why I'm like, when people were like, oh, this is your first relationship, you'll move on within 3 months, like, baby, I don't know what you were doing in your first relationship, but that's not how it's gonna happen here. I'm like, I will take my time, and if it takes me 10 years, if it takes me 10 months, I was like, I'm willing to work through it now.
Exactly. And it's all valid, because like how I said, like, you guys were together for a while. Like, it's not gonna take you 3 months to get over somebody. Yeah.
And I had shared so much about my life that, like, I literally have 3 people that I could say that actually know me, and that's not even, that doesn't include my family, because my family doesn't really know me either.
Oh, same.
That's why I'm like, it was really hard for me to let go of somebody like that too, when he had known me inside and out. And it's just like also very vulnerable that I'm like, you are the one person that had shared everything with, everything mind and body wise, and you just want to throw it in the trash.
Yeah, exactly. And
I'm just like, great. Now I'm like, now I really feel used. Thank you. Like, now I feel like a bloody tampon.
Oh my god.
Like, disgusting and discarded.
Just discarded and never to think of again.
Never again. Just in the trash can and never thought of again.
Like, alright, baby, bye.
Just part of the monthly cycle. Gone.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, awesome, amazing.
That's exactly what I wanted.
I want it to be true.
Thank you for making me feel so special.
Thank you for the first time being thrown away, and I love it. I will forever remember you in my heart.
I remember my head hitting the trash can as I went inside.
It definitely hurt on the way in. It definitely hurt. I was trying to claw my way up that trash can, but it was not happening.
It's like, no, baby, you in here for life.
You are in here for life, and I'm starting to like it down here. It's starting to look really prosperous.
I'm making a home in here.
Yeah, like crazy. And then like I was saying to like my coworkers, I was like after my breakup, I was like, it took me a couple months to like go back on the horse and the wagon of being like, you know what, let me go on a date, because I was with him for so long that I was like, you know what, I was like, I don't want him to be my last for a while. I was like, I want something new, I want something whatever. Literally goes on these dates. I don't know what's wrong with men nowadays. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Girl, you're telling me.
Just like men nowadays are crazy. I'm like, I went on dating app, but it's not that too bad. Like Tinder, like I feel like if you go on Tinder, you're asking for something to go wrong.
No, for real.
I went on Hinge, and it was like disastrous. I'm like, it was just crazy. I have so many horror stories. Stories.
Same.
And I'm just like, oh. And I'm like, and that's because I feel like I can screen people very good.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, I'm very wrong.
No one is horror stories that are just like within the app. It's never like meeting them. It's just like talking in the app.
That's true. I have horror stories from in the app, but also in person. And I'm just
like,
oh, maybe I should have left you in my house.
Maybe I should have left you on the app.
I should have left you on the app, deleted and blocked.
No, for real. Unmatched and everything.
Everything. Oh my goodness, I can't. So I'm like, that's why I told people, like my coworkers, like, because one of them is like now recently single. She's like, should I go on these apps? And I'm like, honestly, I'm like, if you don't, I'm
at your
like,
own
just
risk.
At your own risk, because I'm like, I went and I thought I met some like decent people, and all of them turned out to be the same way in the end.
I know.
So I'm just like, and some of them I really like, not that I was like, oh my god, I love you, we're gonna be together now, like I know, but I was like, oh, I really like this person, like we can vibe really good. I'm like, at least if we're not gonna like date, we can be really good friends at least, right? Because I'm like, maybe I can find a friend too, because I'm like, I've had the same two friends, and I'm like, but you know, it doesn't hurt to find somebody new. Nope. Shut off completely and never again. And I was like, now I'm like kind of talking to somebody, and I'm just like, okay, let's see where this goes, but my expectations are a little low, not because of him, but because of how everything has happened before that timeline.
Yeah, makes sense.
So I'm just like, I'm very cautious now. I'm like, and I'm like, I don't believe in the thing where it's just like, I love you kind of thing, because people throw that out there like no like tomorrow, nothing, yeah. And I'm like, you don't love me. I'm like, so leave me alone. It's
like you're in love with the idea of being in love.
Mm-hmm. You want this fairy tale ending that you can't even do because you're not that type of person. Like, if you can't commit to a fairy tale ending and story, why even try?
Exactly.
Why even start? Because these men love to go on these apps and be like, oh, I'm actually not even looking for anything serious. And I'm like, okay, so you're looking for a hookup. Then why not be honest about that in the beginning?
Oh, my God, I know.
Like, they're like, no, I love you. Let's FaceTime. Let's do this. Let's go on dates. And then they're like, yeah, so, I'm just here to fuck. And I'm like, okay, then why didn't you tell me that in the beginning? Like, I wouldn't have an issue if you told me that in the beginning. Yeah, I would have stopped talking to you because I'm not like that anymore. Yeah. But I'm like, at least be honest with yourself, because I'm like, luckily I don't get attached to people like that. But I'm like, can you imagine if I was? You would have been dead by now.
No, for real.
Like, you are, count your blessings that you're breathing.
You're breathing right now. I know there's always like the ones that like they literally put in their bio, oh, I'm not looking for any hookups, but then they're the same ones to like resort to like a sexual conversation like right off the bat.
Oh, they're like, oh, I no cheating, no nothing, and then they're like, oh yeah, so I just got out of a relationship like 24 hours ago, and I'm like, boy.
The amount of men that I've met like that, and for a while I was meeting ones that were like engaged, and that were like, or full on married, and they were like, oh, I've been like 6 months to like almost a year out of it, and I'm like, what are you doing on this app, dog? Heal. I was like, what are you doing? Huh? Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I was like, I'm not going to say that out loud because it's kind of rude to the person. But, like, it's crazy because I'm not saying, like, oh, just to be mean.
Yeah.
Like, we could literally see it in family members. Like, dog, what are you doing with your life? Like, calm down.
Like, I thought you were healing. You were like, oh, yeah, I was. Last week, that was it?
That was it, baby? Like, you change personalities, persons, attires, and I'm talking about these people that I've been on dates with. I'm like, what? You are a completely different person than 2 days ago. What happened? Yeah. Just like, what happened to you? Like, damn, y'all are good. Like, y'all think girls are good fakers?
Men are good good fakers.
They're amazing fliers. This is so hot though.
I love my men toxic.
I love my walking red flags. But like, keep it walking, babe.
No, honestly, like, dude.
Man, now I miss a red flag.
I miss a red. I don't miss any of them, bro.
Really?
Yeah, I don't miss any of them.
I feel like the red flags are the best. I like the freaky shit. I'm sorry. Just like nerdy dudes are not it. I'm sorry, not sorry.
I mean, like, you had to try before you knocked it, you know?
Well, it's because I'm done training nerdy kids. I'm
Oh
like, I wasted my time, no offense, with my ex, and I was like, and how much time and effort did I perfect you?
for some other bitch to have you?
No, I'm like, you're perfect for the next girl.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, it took me X amount of time to, like, you know, for you to be confident. Like, it's not even about like training the person. It's just like they had to get out of their own headspace. Yeah. Be like, obviously everybody has their insecurities. I learned how to stop being insecure with you, just for you to be like, hey, Pookie, this is not gonna work out. And I'm like,
sorry, baby.
Like, you are literally just a freaky person now for the next girl. Like,
no, for real.
Like, you don't even want to hook up with me once in a while. Like, so much time and effort that you don't want to come back to me.
At least let me have what I made.
Like, can you at least come over once a week? Like, bye. Give me my daily dose, and I'll be fine. Go on with whoever you want. I'm crazy. I know I am.
No, but it does make sense though, because like it's messed up how like somebody could spend so much time like perfecting perfecting somebody, only for them to be like, okay, well I'm fine now, deuces.
Yeah, like I'm like, I was saying like you literally build this person up from the bottom up, and then once they're like their perfect version of themselves at that time, they're like, you know what, I changed everything about myself. Like, I literally do this now, I do this now, I have this, I have a better job. I was literally a loser without you, and now I'm this whole new person, so I don't need you anymore. Like, exactly. You build their confidence because you're like, obviously, like, when you're with somebody else and you're like, how do you say, you're the more confident person, they get your confidence and they're like, well, I don't need you anymore, baby, because I'm confident. I'm like, babe, you literally are my personality. Like, who built you? Me. Give it back. Give me back your coolness. I made you. Oh, not my TV talking to me. Excuse me.
Oh, the government is listening.
Literally.
Okay, well, I know this episode was all over the place, but we just wanted to do like update where we've been, what we've been up to, what our life has been. There's a lot of things that we aren't saying right now because we just don't want to put it all out there as of right now.
Yeah.
Maybe later on, maybe not. Who knows? Just depends.
Or to collect thoughts.
Yeah, exactly. But the next episode will be a better one. We are doing the NGL confessions that I asked you guys, I think like months ago, that we're really gonna do now. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. Thank you guys so much for taking the time out of your day to hear this, for being supporters of us and wanting us to come back. And yeah, we'll catch you guys all in the next episode.
Bye.
Deuces.